franktalks.com.
A reading from The Lifestyle by Terry Gould. Hi, I'm Zoltan, and welcome to another edition of Frank Talks, Pleasures and Lifestyles, a reading from. This week's reading segment comes from The Lifestyle by Terry Gould, pages 283 to 284. Contemporary context is everything here. The year 1961 was the height of the Cold War. The nuclear doomsday clock was set at a couple of seconds before midnight, and the equivalent of 1 million Hiroshima bombs were locked and loaded and on hair-trigger firing orders. How did we get ourselves into that fix? For Heinlein, the core problem was not the biological truth of our sexually competitive nature, but our inability to transcend that nature through sharing. All human behavior, all human motivations, all man's hopes and fears were colored and controlled by mankind's tragic and oddly beautiful pattern of reproduction. The tragic part of the story for Heinlein was that whenever humans made beautiful love, they immediately wanted to possess the body they loved, even if it meant killing the body and all the competitors who wanted it also. Everything men did, from earning wages to becoming rulers and setting out to conquer the world, seemed to be done with an eye to getting and possessing sex partners. Everything women did, from dressing provocatively to damaging a rival's reputation through a clever slur, seemed to be motivated by their desire to attract a man to quicken eggs and make sure the family's wealth stayed at home, even if that wealth was excessive and people went hungry elsewhere. Stranger in a Strange Land argues, as do poly people, that if nuclear bombs are ever used in an all-out war, it will be because of the dog-eat-dog dynamic of sexual competition. In this, Heinlein and the poly people have considerable backing from evolutionary theorists. Trace the history of war through the centuries from the Trojan War onward, and you will find that, as for motives, sex is dominant, as Matt Ridley wrote in The Red Queen. The first war recorded in Homer's Iliad began with the abduction of a mutinous woman, Helen. If territory, resources, and power were gained by men in war, it made the victors more attractive to mates and eliminated rivals in the process. In both pre-literate societies and our own, men compete to accrue and display resources to attract partners, and once mated, husbands and wives join hands to gather and profligately use even more resources to promote the welfare of children born within their dyadic relationship. To scientists, there seems to be no way out of this Darwinian dilemma. Productive and destructive, it is the causa movens of all action. There is now overwhelming evidence that there is no other way for evolution to work except by competitive reproduction, according to Ridley. The free will of which we humans are so proud is just another mechanism to satisfy ambition, to compete with fellow human beings, and so eventually to be in a better position to reproduce and rear children than human beings who do not reproduce. Polyfidelitists, on the other hand, really believe that there is a way to rewrite this unforgiving script. Why not, like Valentine Smith, teach men and women ways to share sexual and emotional love within an expanded family that does not cramp the ability of people to love each other more? Wouldn't that take the edge off at least one cause of our woes? In this, the poly people are not as far as they believe from the thinking of play couples who merely don't make a big deal about proselytizing the truths they personally perceive. When asked, however, they tend to offer the loving more philosophy in earthy terms. As the Lifestyles organization's director of publicity, Steve Mason told the Los Angeles Times in 1998, "We've often thought that the best way to solve all the world's problems is to turn the United Nations into a swingers organization. How do you drop a bomb onto people that you've just had an orgasm with?" And that was an excerpt of The Lifestyle by Terry Gould. If you would like to read more about this, consult The Lifestyle by Terry Gould. This was Zoltan for Frank Talks, Pleasures and Lifestyles, a reading from segment. If you have a suggestion of any literature you'd like us to review dealing with pleasures and lifestyles, please let us know now. Send an email to frank@franktalks.com. That's frank@franktalks.com, or visit our website, www.franktalks.com.
Remember to sign up for the Alternative Relationship Choices ARC newsletter and get weekly tips to guide you through polyamory, swinging, and the basics of non-monogamy. We can help you find your ARC, your alternative relationship choice. Sign up at franktalks.com now.